first start though.
8 touches for Coburn, 29 yards rushing. Long out to Jaguar, and he's got it right at the first down stick. Osai closed in a hurry, but it's a first down for the Ticats at the 53-yard line.
Yeah, that spot's going to give it to him. Now we've seen again, they throw the ball in front of Osai out to that wide side. We'll see again if the next one going that way ends up being another deep ball, as that seems to be a little bit of the pattern that Burris and Jaguar have settled into. Sam Jaguar, the former first-round pick out of Sherbrooke.
17 touchdowns in 3 years there. He was a 2007 All-CIS receiver. To Coburn, Andy Fantuz's first catch of the night into Alouette territory at the 51-yard line. 8 of 5 for Fantuz.
And this team's top 2 receivers, Fantuz and Chris Williams, both held very much in check through the first half of this football game. There's got to be a focus as the Tiger Cats try to shake the third quarter jinx. Focus on getting those 2 key guys involved in what they're doing here.
Dave Stalla checks in, the former Alouette. Darrell Stevenson to the sidelines. 2nd and 5. And the pass complete, the first down, and Chris Williams gets away and just tripped up at the 35-yard line. Gerald Brown got him along the ankles. Otherwise, Chris Williams is still running. It's an 18-yard pickup.
Yeah, I want to talk about Avon Coburn for a minute. This is a guy, his value can't be measured strictly statistically. This is a guy who understands blocking schemes, and here he sees that linebacker Rod Davis is coming, trying to time it up. He beats the guard, but Avon Coburn there to help clean up in the backfield and allow Henry Burris to get that ball away.
First down, and now Coburn to the ground, kicks it outside, and Chip Cox there to bring him down at the 30-yard line. Three for Coburn. Hasn't been able to spring one yet.
That's really the first time we've seen Avon Coburn go outside the tackles. Nice little burst there from number 22, and a lot of talk from the coaching staff. We talked to running back coach Ryan Sheehan before this ball game, and he just marveled at what a professional Avon Coburn has been throughout all of this. Talked about how hard he's worked to make sure he's in shape for when this opportunity finally came.
2nd and 7, stays in the block, quick hitter, and Dave Stalla stuck with it, makes the catch, and at the 25-yard line, close to the first down. Looks like it's going to be 3rd and short.
And Kyrie Saber looking to add to his body count here. Already claimed on Rhea Jones on that interception return that time.
Don't think there's a bigger safety in the league at 6'3", 222 than Kyrie Saber.
Yeah, a little bit of a throwback. I love the big hitter patrol in the middle.
George Cortez sending the field goal unit on. He was stopped last week on short yardage on the ground, and then late in the game couldn't extend a drive to keep the Ticats in it with a 3rd down pass play. So they will send out Kanji looking for 3 from 32 yards out. And Lukaku splits the uprights and makes the lead 5 once again. The opening half of this 3rd quarter. Back into the hands of Brandon Whitaker. And he ducks outside and steps out at the 41 as a 6-yard pickup. Check the Alouette leaders on the night.
No surprise that Brandon Whitaker is among them, as he usually is. 12 touches, 82 yards from scrimmage in this ball game. Calvillo a little bit off his typical efficiency, held to 135 yards in the first half of this ball game.
Whitaker more yards against Hamilton tonight than in the first meeting at Ivor Wynn, when he was limited to 77 from scrimmage. Second half, Calvillo underneath, and ball pops loose at the end of the play. They're going to rule forward progress beyond the 45, and that's a first down.
The Ticats only rushed 4 on that play. Sat their linebackers at depth looking to move up and make the tackle.
Injured Alouette on the play. And Brandon London has been hurt. Already without Jamel Richardson. And while they work on London's left leg, will step out, put the Ticats in the lead. The 2012 CN Canadian Women's Open continues tomorrow on TSN from the Vancouver Gold Club in Coquitlam. Live coverage of the second round gets underway at 2 Eastern, 11 a.m. Pacific on TSN and TSN Mobile TV. And after watching the replay of Brandon London, I'm amazed he's walking off, because this one needs a warning for some viewers.
Yeah, watch the left foot and knee. Left foot is caught underneath Ray Williams down here as that left knee gets twisted up on the tackle. But Brandon London did make it up and back to the dressing room on his own power.
Rolling on the field. They believe the ball carrier fumbled the ball prior to being down by contact. The play will be reviewed.
So after looking at the replay, you see the ball pop loose. Whether or not they'll rule that he was in the grasp but not advancing.
And it just depends here. You see, as you said, Chris, the ball pops out.
Jamal Johnson ripping it out.
Yeah, and whether there's a whistle or not, this is something that can be ruled dead when the ball carrier is encircled and there's no forward progress. I think we'll call this the adding insult to injury.
Upon review, the ruling on the field is confirmed. First down, Montreal.
So they do rule he was in the grasp, not advancing, and the play had been whistled down. But Brandon London out of the game now. Ticats go to a double tight end formation. Ryan Bombin comes in, number 64. Patrick Lavoie, the other tight end. And they hand off to Whitaker. Tisdale meets him at the 50, and Whitaker ends up out at the 52-yard line. 6 for Brandon Whitaker. So this receiving core of the Alouettes without Jamel Richardson, and now Brandon London on the sidelines.
Yeah, 2 pretty potent weapons to be without here, but we saw last week the Alouettes played without Richardson, without Brandon Whitaker. Nothing really seems to slow down this offense as long as number 13 is the trigger man.
Here's the out to Lavoie, and the fullback's got the catch, and a first down brought down by Carlos Thomas. But Patrick Lavoie has been a terrific addition to the Alouettes with 4 touchdowns on the year, including 1 against the Ticats.
Yeah, what a great rookie season Patrick Lavoie has had here. He lines up as the tight end. He's just out to the flat, gets a little rub on the Sam linebacker, Carlos Thomas, from one of his receiver buddies. That's enough to move the sticks.
Second round draft choice in 2011.
A great pick for Jim Popp and his staff, and who had Patrick Lavoie in the pool to lead the Alouettes in touchdowns at this point in the season.
Here's Galveo looking downfield for Green, a push off the catch. And O.C. Green finally wrestled down by Buckner. There may be a face mask at the end of the play, but you know the Ticats are going to be asking why not on the push off by Green against Hines.
We saw Ryan Hines make a terrific play on a ball down the sidelines in the first half, where he was able to get his head around and locate the football. Here, never really located the ball.
Foul, face mask, Hamilton number 26. After distance, the goal, first down.
And frankly, that made the push-off by S.J. Green, as much as the push-off existed, a little bit easy because Hines didn't know where the ball was. He wasn't fighting for position as strongly as he did previously.
Watching the replay, I'm not sure there was a face mask on that call, was there?
The hands came up, but it didn't look like he contacted it.
So the Alouettes threaten. First and goal at the 6. Fake to Whitaker. And the pass is touchdown, S.J. Green. Are they going to rule him down at the 1? Excuse me. It looked like Green broke the plane, but they are ruling him short.
S.J. Green wanted that one, fought hard to try and get across. Ruled down, so it'll bring in the short yardage unit with Adrian McPherson.
Should get a good look at it here too. Jeff Tisdale. And the ball popped loose, and you could see it is a good call. 7th catch, 86 yards for Green, who has the Alouette touchdown, and now McPherson is in. He plunges ahead, and they are in. Touchdown, Montreal. Alouettes have claimed the lead here with just over 4 minutes left in the third quarter.
The big play came on that bomb to S.J. Green. Good down block there by Ryan Bombin. Jeff Parrott on the right side of that O-line. McPherson just tucks it in behind those guys.
3rd touchdown of the year for the Owls. Backup quarterback. Sean White adds the extra point as the Alouettes take the lead. Possession. And as you mentioned while we were away, the third quarter again haunting the Ticats. Rutley is back. He'll get his hands on it again. And Rutley with a good return, kicks it outside and stumbles across the 50-yard line. In his CFL debut, there's Kairis Hebert, who made the tackle and has the block of the night.
Well, he sure does. A play that seemed to ignite the Alouettes early in the second half. That huge cartwheel Thompson block.
And Jeff Reinbold, the defensive coordinator,
liked the interception, loved the block.
Great field position start for Hamilton. Here's Coburn. Big rush, and Coburn barely gets back to the line of scrimmage. Rod Davis finishes him off. Alan Michael Cash at the bottom of the pile.
Kairis Hebert, Kerry Joseph, among the last remaining links to the Ottawa Renegades, but wait for that rivalry to be reborn here with the Montreal Alouettes, with Ottawa sent to re-enter the CFL in 2014.
Second and about 9.5. Burrows wide open on Rhea Jones, and he's down at the 20-yard line. There was the guy on the receiving end of that enormous block, and somehow Jones has been able to collect himself and become a factor offensively.
And Rhea Jones hits this one running, and he's just straight down the seam. Henry Burris hits him in stride here. Again, Kenny Ingram is the linebacker who widened on the play. This is much like Matt Dunnigan talked about in the first half touchdown by S.J. Green, is you want to get a jam, you want to get hands on, you can't let guys run free.
37-yard play, he's 3 for 66 on the night. That one up for grabs and incomplete. Dwight Anderson in the vicinity, intended for Dave Stala.
A tremendous break back to that football by Dwight Anderson. 33 playing deep middle. He's right at the bottom of the screen to start the play.
And Henry Burris might be happy he gets to reload after that.
Absolutely. If there's one guy you don't want to have bragging rights over you, it's Dwight Anderson.
They had an interesting exchange in the pregame warm-up. A couple of old teammates. 2nd and 10. And that pass out of the reach of Fantus with Gerald Brown in coverage. And the Ticats will have to settle for a three-point attempt, but a chance to regain the lead.
Henry Burris looked to Andy Fantuz going out to that flat in the right, but his better option might have been Avon Coburn, who was going out to the flat to the left. It took a while for the Alouettes to pick him up once he crossed that line of scrimmage. A quick hitter right there, and Coburn might have scored.
So Luka Kanji will try his fourth of the night. And he's good once again, putting the Ticats back in front by a point in the late stages of this third quarter. Well, Wendy's Kick for $1 million is back. Your chance to be one of 4 regional kickers to go head-to-head to qualify for the live halftime show. Enter at tsn.ca/Wendy's and visit Wendy's to get a game cup and get bonus entries. Let's check in with John Liu.
Guys, Brandon London has come out of the dressing room. He's on the stationary bike just outside the Owls dressing room. I just asked him a second ago, will he be going back in? He gave his head a little shake, so we'll try to get a little bit more information, but it seems like he might not be returning for the evening.
You may have noticed the blood all over Brandon London's pants. That had nothing to do with the leg injury. He had a cut on his elbow earlier in the game.
And up inside, and look at Whitaker, top yards, and a pickup close to first down yardage once again. Give Whitaker 9.
Brandon Whitaker, not the biggest running back, but you won't find one in this league who runs much harder than that guy.
So short yardage situation here. Whitaker over 100 all-purpose yards on the night. And he landed here, second level and more. And across midfield for Brandon Whitaker.
Well, you're getting to see the full Brandon Whitaker package here. Last play just banging his way up the middle, a purely physical run. Here it's a little bit of flash from number 2. Great cutback, and then a huge lateral leap to burst outside here and run away from the defenders.
Needed 1, got 13, and puts the Alouettes first down in Hamilton territory. Ticat 54-yard line. Final play, third quarter. Bratton on the sweep. A fly sweep, and Wayne Williams collars him right at the line of scrimmage. Bratton looks for a face mask or horse collar, and no flags on the field.